Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, cardaholics of all ages, welcome back to Big Al's Cards. Thank you so much for watching. And in today's video, I want to share my thoughts on the recent promotion that Topps and Fanatics did. And this is the second time they've done it. They actually did it last year in September as well. And that is the Hobby Rip Night promotion. I don't know if they're going to do it biannually or if it's going to be, just a once a year thing or to commemorate any major releases or whatever. But they've done this promotion twice now, and I was unfortunately not able to attend the one that happened on Saturday, but I was able to attend last September's, and I also know a lot of people who've been participating in it, whether it be online or some friends. So I wanted to kind of share my thoughts on this Hobby Rip Night promotion and why I think it's really one of the best things that Topps and Fanatics have done so far. So for those who might not know, Hobby Rip Night takes place at hobby shops across the country. And when it is exactly kind of depends on where you are located. But you head to your local hobby shop and they have giveaways, they have food, they have special deals on Topps products. You have an opportunity to host like a trade night. And then you have basically, you're ripping, like you're buying product and you're ripping it to see if you can hit anything good. And it's a really nice opportunity to get to meet fellow collectors and to get kids involved. And everything that I've seen on social, Fanatics and Topps have really gone all out to try to promote this as a major thing to try to get people to get into the hobby. They were actually able to secure baseball players, legends. They had Tom Brady show up in New York. They had Acuna show up. They had a lot of like just really cool players and non-athletes. I think Steve Aoki was there at some place for some reason. But they've basically really tried to go all out on Hobby Rip Night with promotions and athlete involvement. And a lot of things that I saw on social, you had a lot of kids attending these events. The stores were full. You had promotional cards that were available. They gave you a free pack of like special Hobby Rip Night cards that had potential hits of parallels and autographs. And I think this is probably one of the best things that Topps and Fanatics have done so far since Fanatics acquired Topps. And now listen, I've been critical of Fanatics and Topps for a good little bit, really ever since Fanatics took over. And I think that there's always a good right to criticize when things aren't going the way that you think that they should. But I also think that it's fair to, whenever there's criticism, to give credit where you can. And I really have to credit Fanatics and Topps for this event. So again, I wasn't able to attend this most recent one on Saturday, but I was able to hit up Hobby Rip Night in September when they did it for the first time. And I went to my local card store and it was trade night, and I got to see a couple of people and trade with them. There was a guy who came in who was a Dodger fan, and I had a Luis Rodriguez PSA 9 blue refractor that it wasn't getting any traction on eBay. Nobody really wanted to trade it online, so I just straight up gave it to him. And it was a really cool moment to be able to share collecting with somebody. I ripped a couple of blasters, was able to have great conversations with people. I actually won a contest for a free blaster too. And it was a really, really cool experience. I wasn't able to stay the whole night, but the shop had Chick-fil-A, got to trade, got to meet other collectors and have really cool conversations. And again, while it was the first one and people really kind of weren't sure what it was going to look like, everything that I saw on social the last couple of days since this most recent one really shows that they are really going all out with trying to 10x the hobby to grow people into collecting, which I appreciate. I don't think necessarily that having more collectors is a bad thing. I think it's ambitious for sure, but if done correctly and done without sacrificing on quality, I think it's not the worst thing in the world. It's not the worst idea in the world. So I really appreciate what Fanatics has done with Hobby Rip Night. I think that to further improve on this, I think that it should be announced a little bit more than a week, 2 weeks in advance. Sometimes I have to plan things out. Sometimes people have plans they can't attend. That's what happened most recently. I already had other plans, wasn't able to attend Hobby Rip Night. And I think giving a little bit more advance notice on when this is going to happen wouldn't be a bad idea. But I also think if you can have different levels of involvement. So when I say that, I think it was, I think Meek Mill went to Cards HQ, which is Jeff Wilson, the sports cards investors store. And I think it would be cool personally to not necessarily allocate celebrity usage to the big shops. I think it would be really cool to kind of randomize it a little bit. Again, this is probably one of the first times they've done this. And one of my stores, they have two locations, and one's in Apex, and that's another part of North Carolina. And they had Drake May, who's the UNC quarterback, come out and hang out, which was, I think, really, really cool. If we can do more things like that, where it's going all over the country to small shops and places that maybe you wouldn't expect to see a player or another athlete show up. I'm not saying Tom Brady has to come to, my area, but I think it'd be really cool if we had, a Hornets legend, or Bryce Young went to California, but I think it would have made more sense if he was here in North Carolina, you know? So I think that that would be really cool to kind of spread the love in terms of using athletes. I don't think we really want to see the same stores get the same athletes or different athletes over and over again. Let's try to spread that out a little bit. So I think just better planning, better announcing. Marketing was fine. I think pushing it on social was good. But if they're really going to try to put advertisements out there on TV and things like that, push this on TV. You really want to grow the hobby. Push your advertisements for Hobby Rip Night on television. More people, I think, are going to be watching television, especially if you put it, around a sporting event. If you got let's say they're going to do another one in September, put it on a Sunday night baseball game or something to that effect where it's going to get a lot of eyes. Do a YouTube ad campaign for Hobby Rip Night. Really push the marketing on this, because if you push it more, it's got a greater chance of basically getting more people into hobby shops and continuing to help them be supported and get more money and stay afloat, So I think that there's definitely continued growth opportunities with Hobby Rip Night, but the concept, I think, is very, very good. It's a really great opportunity for young collectors to go to the hobby shop, learn about products, interact with other collectors, really get involved in the hobby. And there's free things, there's free food, free t-shirts, free cards, special deals on Topps products. I think that it's a really great idea. Let's further improve on it. Let's market it better. Let's market it earlier. And let's maybe consider, quote unquote, spreading the wealth in terms of using athletes. Let's not always send it to places like Card HQ or Dave and Adams. Not that those are bad shops. I don't want anybody to take that kind of idea away. But maybe we randomize it. Maybe we send the small shop in Montana a baseball player or a football player or a legend. I'm just throwing the idea out there, because then it really feels like any shop could have somebody show up. And maybe they don't announce it in advance. Maybe they do announce it in advance. But I don't think that would be a bad idea, because then people in that area could be like, what if somebody shows up to our store? I think that'd be really, really cool. But all in all, I think Hobby Rip Night is a phenomenal opportunity. Let's keep it growing. Let's keep it going. And I think that we as collectors can really make this a special event in our own hobby shops. But those are my thoughts. Let me know your guys' thoughts on this in the comments below. Thank you all so much for watching. Please leave a like, subscribe, stay tuned for more videos, and until next time, bye-bye.